young lady went to the telephone, answered the phone, that your son, TJ, has been shot. After pastoring locally for 5 years, the Lord picked me up, took me to Fort Wayne, Indiana. There was another young person dead, 14, 15 years old. 2 weeks later, another 19-year-old. It was at that time I said, somebody's got to do something. That day that we started what we called Stop the Madness. We got the whole city involved. I would always try to find a safe place for my son, who was 15, and my daughter, who was 12. And so we enrolled them at the local YMCA. 2 bullets entered the Y. One landed in the wall, and the other one landed in my 15-year-old's head. I ran in, and there laying in the floor was my own 15-year-old namesake with a bullet in his head. I bent down over him and said, TJ, this is your dad. And his eyes walled to the back of his head. The national media came around. The AP wires were buzzing with the irony of a guy who's fighting violence. Son has become a victim of violence. And they asked me a question, Pastor Jordan, does this mean that Stop the Madness is coming to an end? And my response was, there is no way. And if God wanted to use our son as an example, we were willing. And I thought I saw him take his last breath. You know how it works. If they're doing okay, you get a jagged line. But if they're not, you get the straight line. That line began to get straighter and straighter. And I walk out into the lobby, and there is a room full of people, all kinds of people, black folk, white folk, Lutherans, Methodists, Baptists, and they were all there to pray for my son. And when I walked back into that room, to my surprise, that straight line began to get jagged and more jagged and more jagged.